Ever scrolled through Reddit late at night and stumbled upon a post that just sticks with you? A comment so oddly specific, so detailed, that it feels less like a guess and more like a memory of the future? Today, we're diving deep into the digital rabbit hole to uncover some of the most chillingly accurate predictions ever posted on Reddit. These aren't just lucky shots in the dark. These are stories that will make you question the very nature of time and coincidence. So grab your headphones, dim the lights, and prepare to have your mind blown. Our first story takes us back to 2013. A user, let's call them Time Glimpser, posted on a small, obscure subreddit dedicated to speculative fiction. The post was titled, "A Crazy Dream I Had About a New Type of Social Media." It described a platform based entirely on short, looping videos with an algorithm so powerful it could predict what you wanted to see before you even knew it. The user talked about viral challenges, dance crazes sweeping the globe, and how it would fundamentally change the music industry, making songs famous in a matter of days. Sounds familiar, right? But here's the creepy part. They specifically mentioned the app would have a musical note as its logo and would be acquired by a Chinese tech giant. At the time, Vine was king, and the idea seemed far-fetched. People in the comments dismissed it as a fun but silly idea. Fast forward a few years, and TikTok emerges, matching Time Glimpser's description to a T the original post. It was deleted, and the user's account vanished without a trace, leaving only screenshots and the lingering question, was it a dream, a brilliant guess, or something else entirely? Now let's travel to a different corner of Reddit, to the world of gaming. In 2015, on a subreddit for a popular open-world fantasy game, a user named Oracle.Pixels made a bizarrely detailed post. They claimed to be a former developer who left the company under a non-disclosure agreement but wanted to leak details about a secret unannounced sequel. They described a new game mechanic involving manipulating time, a feature where you could reverse environmental destruction. They even outlined a major plot point about the main villain being a fallen hero from the original game's lore, someone players had only read about in in-game books. The community was harsh. They called it fanfiction, tore the post apart for being too outlandish, and the user was eventually banned for spreading misinformation. But then, 5 years later, the sequel was announced, and guess what? The core mechanic was a time reversal system, and the main antagonist was that exact obscure character from the lore books. The gaming community was stunned. They went back to find the original post, but it was long gone. Scrub it from the internet. All that remains are the memories of those who mocked it, now left to wonder how Oracle.Pixels knew the game's biggest secrets half a decade before anyone else. This next one is a little different. It's not about tech or games. It's about a global event. In early 2019, a user on the r/science subreddit posted a hypothetical question. They asked, what would be the economic and social impact of a sudden worldwide disruption to the global supply chain, not caused by war, but by a novel, airborne pathogen? The post was incredibly detailed. It modeled how industries like travel and hospitality would collapse first, followed by a surge in demand for home delivery services and remote work technology. The user, an economics student, even created charts predicting the stock market's reaction and the subsequent government stimulus packages. It was a fascinating academic exercise, but that's all it was. Most comments engaged with the theory, debating the finer points. No one could have known that less than a year later, this exact scenario would become our reality. When the pandemic hit, people rediscovered the thread. The user's predictions were so uncannily accurate, from the specific industries affected to the societal shifts, that it felt like reading a history book written in advance. The original poster later commented, "I was just running a model. I never, ever thought I'd live through it." This story serves as a chilling reminder that sometimes the line between hypothesis and prophecy is terrifyingly thin. What if a prediction wasn't about a big event, but a small, personal one that saved a life? In a thread on RTFU, which stands for Today IFD Up, a user shared a story about almost missing their flight. They were stuck in traffic, stressed out, and complaining on a live Reddit chat. Out of nowhere, another user sent them a direct message. "Whatever you do, do not get on flight 26B from JFK today. I have a terrible feeling. Please." The message was so random and specific that the original poster was spooked. They were already running late, so they decided to just give up and rebook for the next day, chalking it up to a weird but harmless internet troll. The next morning, they woke up to breaking news. Flight 26B had experienced a catastrophic engine failure shortly after takeoff. while everyone survived thanks to the pilot's skill. The plane had to make an emergency landing, and several passengers were injured during the rough descent. The user was in shock. They tried to find the person who warned them, but the account was deleted. It was a throwaway, created just to send that one message and then disappear forever. Who was that mysterious stranger? A guardian angel? A time traveler? We'll never know. But someone, somewhere, had a terrible feeling that ended up making all the difference. Our final story is perhaps the most unsettling of all. It comes from the nosleep subreddit, a place for original horror fiction. A writer, known for their elaborate, multi-part stories, began a series about a small town in rural Oregon. The story, titled The Sunken Town of Briarwood, described a fictional village that was intentionally flooded in the 1950s to create a reservoir. The author wrote about the town's dark secrets, a hidden cult, and strange artifacts buried beneath the water. The story was a hit, praised for its incredible detail and world building. The author even created fake historical documents and maps to go with it. A year after the story concluded, a group of fans, inspired by the tale, decided to do some real-world research. Using the author's fictional maps as a rough guide, they cross-referenced them with old county records in Oregon. To their astonishment, they found it. A real town with a slightly different name that had been flooded in the 1950s to create a reservoir right where the story said it would be. Digging deeper, they uncovered local newspaper articles from that era hinting at strange local rituals and the mysterious disappearance of several townspeople just before the flood. The line between fiction and reality had completely dissolved. When confronted, the author simply posted one last message. Some stories aren't written. They're remembered. Then, their account went silent. From social media revolutions and blockbuster video games to global crises and life-saving warnings, these stories from the depths of Reddit show us that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Are they just incredible coincidences, masterful hoaxes, or glimpses into something beyond our understanding? The digital trails may have gone cold, but the questions they leave behind are what make these tales so endlessly fascinating. What's the creepiest prediction you've ever come across online? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey down the rabbit hole, don't forget to like and subscribe for more mysteries. See you next time.